Yes, so we got an interesting um, question to discuss. It's about like different experience when you have like couples from different countries and they have different kind of communication process between men and women and also different emotions. We talked about that as a way to express emotions is also different. Maybe we can talk a little bit about that. Maybe if you have some experience to share. Yes, about
Dating
dating here closest.
with different cultures. So I
We're
do
saying
think that
difficult that yes, you can.
one as so I mean I think one of the first difficulties that comes to mind is of course communication and the way we communicate our emotions. If you come from very open backgrounds versus very closed backgrounds, as an example, I was dating a Russian girl for 2 years, and the expectations that we had one from another. My background being Latin American, but raised in the United States, where we are a little more not partnership. It's like, oh, we split everything down the middle, and I work, you work, and we do this, and it's like it's slightly different when it comes to again maybe dating at that time that my Russian partner of the time. So I think communication, the expectations that you have from one another based on your cultural experiences, can be a challenge, but it's not an obstacle. I think it's difficult to navigate it, but it's something that's definitely possible if both parties are willing to have that communication and say, oh, I had this expectation because in my culture, this is what is expected. And then it opens the field to have that conversation to, oh, well, actually, my culture, it's not like that. It's like this. What can we do about this? So that's when you start building those connections, but you have to open the field to have a conversation for some time. Put your emotions aside and think like, can we build this together? Is it something you want to uh, approach together and overcome, right? Especially when you have those relationships. So I think dating multicultural, it's a great way to also learn about the world, learn about yourself, learn about what triggers you. um but I don't think it's it's impossible. It's challenging, but I think it's a good way to learn about yourself.
Agree with you. Actually, yes. So what I have from my experience is that when you have like uh, partners from different countries, you have different kind of view on maybe, and you learn something new because when you have like this kind of talks, this kind of conversations about different ways about money, for example, you understand that there is some parts which you can't certain before about. And yes, it really makes sense. If you add something to your to pockets, like something to
Yeah.
experience, and it's super nice because you can find some a third way to deal with that like question, which is doesn't belong to any country because every country has like some special like restrictions, and
Well,
they go beyond the restrictions.
what's interesting about
Yeah.
you mentioned about each country has restrictions. We all have different restrictions, but I think we are still all human, and so we all have the same emotions, and I think we all have the same capacity if we want to change, but also to be open and be kind to one another to feel understood. Because I think that regardless of different cultures, you want to be felt understood, and I want to be felt that you understand me. But how do
Yes.
we do that? It's with the communication. Emotions are a big part of it, but also be willing to to have those conversations, to open and communicate.
Yes, and as a way to be, I want to be. I feel that I'm understood in my way. It's just totally different from your way.
But you have to be able to share that with me, and I have to be able to be, oh, okay, so that's how you feel understood. What can I do to make sure that you're feeling understood?
Okay, so what now I feel like this kind of thing that it's very important to talk about and to feel where we can go beyond this, where we can't, where it's important for me to stay on my ways, let's say. For me, it's important that you do this, and then I take it. If you can do this, okay. If you can't do this, then we need to find another solution like this.
Um, I'm not sure if I understood your question. It's about your personal, how you feel about something.
Yes, we talked that like for example, in different countries you have like different like my way
Yes,
to be yes.
like your way is the right way.
Yes, for example, my way to be appreciated if I'm from Slavic countries, let's say from Ukraine, from Russian countries, the women, they feel that they appreciate when a man pays for her, that it means that he likes her, that he wants to stay with her, he will take care. So it means that okay, then I can rely on that man. I can think about some future or something. This case. So it's like more about basic.
I love that because in America, the way when we let's say on a date, let's say we've been there for a while, or even sometimes the first date, which is weird. I personally haven't done this, but it's like, oh, let's split the bill. And I think the mentality there, it's like, can we build something together? Can we do things together? So like, it's still about feeling a sense of connection. Because I think that's what you communicated, right? You want to feel connected to your man, and the way that he's doing it in Slavic countries, it's like he's taking care of you. And maybe in the West side, in the West in America, it's they still want to feel connection, but I think it's about how that connection is being created. So again, the emotions is the same, right? And I think it's only about the action that's different. The emotion is about let's connect. The action is
But the way connection is different.
It's different.
And yes, and so it's for both sides. It's like can we connect? But the way, yes, to connect.
and this is why when I said when maybe you're having multicultural relationships, that it's important to have this communication. It's like, how do you feel connected? Do you feel connected when I pay for things, or maybe when we do something together? Because the way I feel connected is when we do things together, right?
Yes.
And it's okay. So what can we do to make sure we keep that connection and it's healthy? Because I think that we want to keep our roots. We are very proud of where we come from, right? And so we also don't want to change for anybody.
Yes, that was my question. If I don't want to change, if I want to stay with this, for me, this is important.
And that's where love comes into play. I think that love it's a choice. It's choosing to if this person doesn't change for the rest of their life, would I be okay with that? It's that simple. If you love someone, you accept them the way they are.
Yes, or you feel that this is unexpectable for you. I mean, you
And if
can't.
it's not,
You
then-
can't. Yes, do that. So
Yeah.
it's like yes.
And it's okay because I feel at the end of the day, in my opinion, you have to do whatever is best for you. Sometimes if you don't feel happy with your life, you have to do something because if you have kids, if you have a partner, how can you make them happy? Or how can you show them what happiness is like if you yourself don't feel happy? And it's the same thing with men. Again, I think that a lot of the relationship problems is also the inability that men have to communicate their emotions. We just stay quiet or we get angry and we just storm, we go away, and then we come back and expect everything to be okay. If we were able to stay and say, you said something to me that actually hurt me, and I did not like that, you wouldn't know that something you said hurt me. And maybe you didn't mean it like that, right? And it's okay. Now it's like, oh, I didn't mean to say that. What I meant to say was this and that. And then I could be like, oh, okay, so my interpretation of what you said was completely wrong.
So we have like something similar for all cultures and for many women that the way to deal with emotions is to communicate. Yes, and to discuss. The only possibility to get is good for me at the end.
Yeah. Because I cannot think what you're thinking, and the only way we have to communicate it is our voice. And if we're not communicating our needs or wants, there's no way that I'm going to understand you. And if we all pray for that connection, that connection is not going to happen unless we communicate.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think